Hi, Ricky.
Hi, Leonard. You look like you're in a hurry.
There's a good reason for that. I'm in a hurry.
Ah.
Edward, I have some business for you to attend to. A proxy. Your father asked me to get you to sign it.
Ah, my father. Look at the warm personal note he attached. Hurry up.
Well, you know what he always says. Wasted words, wasted time.
Dad, every time you mention your father, you make him sound like a mean guy.
Do I? Gee, I don't mean to. He's really a warm, talented, wonderful human being. So how's the old buzzard want me to vote?
I want you to vote yes.
Ah, then I'm voting no. Wait a minute. My father knows that I always vote the opposite of him. So if he says he wants me to vote yes, that could mean he wants me to vote no. Oh, boy, he's devious. What do you think, Leonard?
Don't ask me, I'm biased.
Oh?
Yeah, I don't give a damn.
Why don't you find out what the vote is about, give it some thought, and then base your decision on what you think is right?
Hey, there's an approach. Leonard, what is this vote about?
Well, your father wants to relocate his Baltimore lug nut factory in Taiwan.
But that'll put a lot of lug nutters out of a job.
Well, major stockholders are split, so you've got the deciding vote.
Oh, boy. Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
Oh, you can handle it, Dad.
You're right, son. I can. Leonard, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get me every bit of information that there is about lug nuts. I'm going to study up on them, and I'm going to become the world's foremost authority on lug nuts. And one more thing. What the heck's a lug nut?
Those little doodads that they put on tires?
Oh, lug nuts! I use those.
Yeah? It's a small world.
You handled that great, Dad.
Well, thanks, son.
No, I was thinking. I'd like to meet my grandfather. Can we go see him?
Well, Ricky, I don't think that's a good idea. My father's kind of a scary guy.
Oh?
Well, yeah, well, don't get me wrong. My father's a great man. He's a financial genius. He's a true leader. He missed most of my birthdays, but it wasn't really his fault. He had to be out making million-dollar deals somewhere. I didn't really mind eating most of my meals alone while he was dining with presidents, kings, anybody in the world except his own son. Hey, that's no skin off my nose, no.
Dad, you're wrecking the pillow.
I don't care. He's a great man.
Hey, I believe you.
Edward, there's a Mr. Richardson on the phone from the Classic Roller Coaster Company.
Those guys are worse than insurance salesmen. I told him I was just browsing.
Kate?
Yes.
Do you know my grandfather's address?
Oh, I probably have it somewhere. Why, do you need it?
Yeah, I kind of thought I'd go say hello.
Wait a minute. I don't think your father would want you to visit him.
I know, Dad. That's why I'm asking you for the address.
I like working here. This is a family matter. I'd better not get involved, okay?
Okay, Kate. If you don't think I need a grandfather, I got you.
Don't do this to me, Ricky.
Kate, do you have a grandfather?
Yes.
You lucky duck. What do you call him?
Gramps.
Oh, Gramps.
Yeah.
Sure wish I had a Gramps.
Don't do this to me, Ricky.
Could you tell me about your Gramps?
Well, he was the only person in the whole world who never judged or criticized me. Why, sometimes we'd go out in the lake and, he'd talk to me for hours about everything. And he always seemed to understand.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody like that. No big deal. No big deal.
You're doing it to me, Ricky.
Tell me about the lake again.
I'll get the address.
Hi.
Miss Linehan, an unauthorized prepubescent has appeared.
I'm authorized. I'm your grandson, Ricky.
I'll take care of it. Young man, I believe I heard you mention the word grandson. I have no grandson. I would know if I had a grandson. I make it a point to keep up with these things.
But I am your grandson.
What's your game?
What do you mean?
You come here and you pretend to be my long-lost relative. You think I'm going to pay your way through life. Well, I don't pay my real relatives' way through life.
I came here because I wanted to get to know my grandfather. I'm not after your money. I guess my dad said about you is true. He said you were an old buzzard.
Hold it. Did your father call me an old buzzard? Well, maybe you are my grandson. What's your mother's name?
Evelyn.
Sit. Now then, suppose that you are my grandson. What would you want to do about it?
Just regular grandfather-grandson type stuff. We could hang around together.
I do not hang around.
We could fly a kite.
I loathe kites.
A hug would be nice. But I guess you loathe that too, huh?
You bet your bippy. Now, you say your name is Richard.
Ricky. But you can call him whatever you wanna. Gramps.
I am not a gramps. Gabby Hayes is a gramps.
Yes, sir, Mr. Stratton. Anyway, my father sent his best.
Not good enough. Never was. It's just like my father. They both drove me mad. And they actually look alike. Whereas you, on the other hand, bear a very distinct resemblance to me.
Oh, yes. Definitely. I could see that.
Is possible, I suppose, for brains and good looks to skip a generation?
Didn't my great-grandfather start the family business? He must have been awful smart.
Sheer luck. He invented the inner tube. You know why? Because he had a dream that when a man goes to the beach, he should be able to float. A year later, they invented the automobile tire, and that floating banana head became a millionaire.
Well, he did make you rich.
Perhaps. Unlike your father, I did not sit on my inheritance. I believe that money entails certain responsibilities.
Like what?
Like making more money. I work day and night to make my companies one of the biggest conglomerates in the world.
You must be awful tired.
A little.
You know, I asked my father if he had any pictures of you. He didn't have any.
So?
So I think it's sad for a son not to have any pictures of his own father. Do you have any pictures of your father?
One, but I never look at it. Those are painful memories.
Hey, I have a great idea. Why don't you come back to the house and me and we can surprise my dad?
I have not the slightest desire to surprise your father. He and I have absolutely nothing in common.
But if you just...
Wasted words.
Wasted time. Well, I'll be going now. You know, I feel bad for you. My dad, too. It's almost as if he doesn't have a father, and you don't have a son. I went without my father for 12 years, and I've really missed him. And I can't believe that you don't miss your son.
Banana head.
Mr. Stratton!
Hello, Richard.
Oh, come in. Come in, come in. I am so glad you're here.
There's no need to be maudlin about it. This is strictly business. Father has a proxy that I want signed.
Well, I don't care why you're here. I'm just glad that you are.
Look at this place. I feel as if I died and gone to Coney Island.
Yeah, I love it too.
Checkmate. Sore loser.
Hey, how about a game of Pac-Man?
What in heaven's name is Pac-Man?
It's a video game. My dad's terrific at it. He can outrun Blinky on every board.
Amazing. Some people have sons who win Nobel Prizes. Mine can outrun Blinky.
Why do you always come down so hard on my dad?
Oh, habit, I suppose.
Well, you haven't seen him in a long time. I don't know what he was like before I came, but he's got me now. And that's made him a dependable, responsible, mature man.
Father.
Edward, back straight.
Father, what are you doing here?
I'm repressing a desire to scream. I have a proxy here that I would like you to sign, so if you happen to have a Crayola handy...
No, Father, I'm not signing.
What?
Well, see, I've been thinking.
I'll be the judge of that.
Father, I figured out that if we just invest in some new automated equipment and get certain worker concessions, we can make lug nuts in Baltimore for only a half-cent more than it costs to make them in Taiwan.
Hey, that's a great idea, Dad.
Richard, do you know how to work a calculator?
Yes, sir.
All right, now that plant turns out 100 million lug nuts a year. Now multiply that by half a cent.
It comes to $500,000.
Just a small detail, huh?
Well, my dad's put a lot of thought into this.
And if he'd given a little more thought, he might have cost me $1 million. Now, sign it.
No, Father, I still am going to vote against relocating that factory. Unless you agree to give 50% of the first year's profit to helping the employees find new jobs.
You were being unreasonable and stubborn.
Qualities I learned from the master.
I really do think it's important to help the employees get other jobs.
All right. 40% of the profits, not a cent more.
You've got yourself a deal.
You could have got 45%.
No, you can't go yet. You've just gotten here. Now, come on. Let's all go sit down on the couch and talk a while. Come on. Isn't this great? Father, son, and grandfather together on one couch. Got so much to talk about. Sure, it's a little awkward at first. But once we get it rolling, it's just gonna be yak, 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 yak. Yep. It's gonna be yak, 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 yak.
Edward, have you accomplished anything at all since the bicentennial?
Yes, I started a toy factory.
And this, I suppose, is your warehouse.
Funny guy.
Has your company shown any profits?
I'm making toys that are safe, educational, and fun to play with.
In other words, you're losing your shirt.
More to life than making money, Father.
Perhaps. But you, Edward, have always been fiscally irresponsible. If your flaky grandfather hadn't provided for you in his will, you'd be penniless today.
Grandpa Eddie was a great man.
He was a floating banana head.
Since Grandpa Eddie spent time with me, more than you ever did. Ever since Mom died, I spent most of my time alone. Even missed my birthdays.
I sent you presents.
Yeah, presents. You know what he sent me for my 5th birthday? A tuxedo.
And he ruined it with grass stains. Edward, I wanted the world for you. I saw the day when I would come to you and give you everything I'd made. And you weren't even interested.
I tried, Father. You know I tried. I even entered business school, just the way you always wanted.
Yes, and I had to give the college a gymnasium so they'd take you. Then after 3 months, you transferred to Aspen Junior College. And what was your major? Ski bunnies.
You know perfectly well that I was on the ski team, and I had a chance to be really good, too. But instead of being proud and supportive, you thought it was stupid and wasteful.
Well,
it wasn't. Not to me.
well, as far
All
as
of my
I'm
life,
concerned,
all
you
you've
never
been
ever
concerned
once-
about is whether...
Why are you doing this to each other? Mr. Stratton, you didn't have to come in to get that proxy signed. You could have just had someone to do it for you. So I think the real reason you're here is because you want to see your son again. And Dad, I know that deep down inside, you're really glad to see your father. Hey, so you guys are after the same thing. Wouldn't both of you just like to look at each other? Just say I love you?
No.
Just because you can't get together, that doesn't mean I'm gonna lose out. Dad, I like this man. I think he likes me too. And Mrs. Stratton, I love my dad. And nothing you can ever say about him is gonna change that. So you two go on bickering and not seeing each other. But I want to see both of you.
Edward, I would be pleased on occasion to see this young man, provided he were suitably attired.
Is that okay, Dad?
Richard, I just happened to have an appointment with George Steinbrenner at the Yankee Stadium. Would you like to come along and see the game?
Oh, you bet, Mr. Stratton.
You don't have to call me Mr. Stratton. You can call me simply...
Gramps?
Never Gramps. Just call me Grandfather.
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 You know something, Father? You never once, ever, asked me to go to the ball game.
Edward, would you care to go to the ball game?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, let's go. Wait a minute, wait a minute. In case of foul balls.
I'm sure it's just a phase.